I want to start talking about Biden, about what he has done. Everybody's interested in immigration. What has Biden done recently? Because recently we had 100 days of President Biden as president. And in that short time, he has made it very clear that reforming the United States immigration system is a top priority. Now, I want to stop there and just say one thing. He has made a lot of changes. He has made a lot of promises. Joe Biden's responsibility, as far as I'm concerned, as far as immigration is concerned, is he now has to follow through on it. He has to make immigration a priority. It's not enough for him to announce it's a priority. It's not enough for him to announce during his first week in office that I have this huge legislation I want to pass. He now has a responsibility to put his money where his mouth is. He now has a responsibility to actually get it passed. You know, a lot of people are saying he may not be able to get all of his immigration reforms passed. He may not be able to get any of it passed. Many people are saying, well, you know, there's only 50 Democrats in Congress. If you lose one Democrat, and they're going to lose several, you're going to need some Republicans to join in order to get any immigration reform passed. Maybe now is not the right time to do it. And I say to you, Joe Biden, if you're watching, I'm tired of hearing now's not the time to do it. I've heard it for 25 years already. Every year there's a new president. There's always a new excuse why now is not the time to do it. I'm tired of excuses. Now is the time to do it. Everybody says immigration is a problem. It has to be fixed, but nobody's willing to fix it. The first part of fixing it is finding out who's here in America and legalizing the people who deserve to be legalized. And if there's some bad people, getting rid of them. That is the first thing that has to be done beyond anything else. I have to give it to Joe Biden. On day one, he did reverse some of Donald Trump's more damaging actions. He reversed the ban of immigrants from Muslim-majority countries. He also proposed an 8-year pathway to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants. And that is what I'm talking about. Making a proposal on day one and saying it's a priority. We're now beyond 100 days. Nothing's happened yet. It's time for something to happen. Now, Biden has also reversed the ban on green cards during the coronavirus pandemic. So far, Biden has issued 3 executive orders. Those 3 executive orders will figure ending the construction of the wall and calling for a waste of money that diverts attention from genuine threats to our Homeland Security. One of the most important things he did was he ended the public charge rule. So now under the public charge rule, it goes back to the old system. The old system is as long as you're 125% above the poverty level, you can adjust your status or obtain an immigrant visa, that meaning your petitioner. Before Trump made the changes made it completely onerous for people who are even in middle class, let alone working and poor people, to get a green card. So Biden has done many things. He hasn't done enough as far as I am concerned. Moving on, guys. What do you think, by the way, Jonathan, before we move on, and Vanessa? Do you think he's done enough so far, or has it been more talk?
You're going to say what you need to say in order to win, you know. So I'm still hoping and, you know, still want to say I have faith that he's going to do what he has said, but he definitely hasn't done enough of what he had said within the 100 days of being in office, in my opinion.
With the I-944 form, though, that's a pretty big one for the squad. I feel like we talk about the I-944 and public charge a lot prior, you know, to our hibernation. So this, of course, there's definitely always more that we can do, but I feel like that's definitely an opportunity for the squad. We hear about I-944 a lot.
Well, absolutely. That's the public charge provisions went back to the old rules, and that helps a lot of people. But we have huge backlogs with immigration. People are filing applications and not getting receipts for months. People who should be getting work permits within 90 days, they're taking 5, 6, 7 months to get work permits. Green card interviews are well past a year. People who are filing VAWA applications are waiting over 2 years. People who file for citizenship are waiting over a year. People who have been eligible for green card appointments at U.S. embassies abroad, still over a year. Eligible, no appointment. Embassies are closed because of the pandemic. It is huge, huge problems with immigration. It hasn't gotten better, unfortunately, because Joe Biden is president. We hear a lot of talk. We hear a lot of, yes, things will change, and maybe over time they will. But right now, what Joe Biden has done, in my opinion, is he's talked a lot, said a lot of things, but ultimately, and changed some regulations. Yes, he ended the Muslim ban. Any person who's not cold-hearted would do that. Okay? He started the process of allowing people to get immigrant visas and green cards who are not married to U.S. citizens. That's just following the rules of what was set up for 20, 30 years already. But what he hasn't done is follow through on his promise that immigration was going to be a priority. What he has made a priority is COVID relief. He passed it, and I'm happy he did. And now he's talking about infrastructure, which is equally important. Okay, we got to have construction jobs and besides the infrastructure of physical infrastructure, he's talking about universal pre-K, and he wants to pass that. And those are all really important things. But what's also equally important is immigration. And if he says, I'm going to make it a priority, and ultimately doesn't, if the Democrats control the presidency, and they control the Senate, and they control the House of Representatives, and Biden and the Democrats say, well, now's not the time to do it, then when the hell is the time? Because it makes me really angry about this.
Yeah.
We hear
Is there ever a right time?
There is never. The right time was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
Yep.
So we're past the right time already. So
do you feel like he will do what he had said, though? Do you feel that?
I'm more pessimistic now.
Oh, no. What?
Yeah, I am. Because I don't see, you know how happy I was when we talked about what he proposed? I was so happy.
Yeah.
What's happened since then? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has happened since then. So I'm disappointed in that respect. Okay? I thought after pandemic relief, it was going to be immigration. And now we hear infrastructure. Eventually, you only have so much political capital. You can only make so many deals, run out of things to bargain. You have, former President Bush, for example. He wanted to make immigration reform important. He waited till his second 6 years into his presidential administration. He had no political capital left to pass anything. Yet now in his retirement, he's making books and paintings about immigrants. He should have been painting legislation from day one if it was that important to him. Obama, the same thing. Obama came in and said, I want to make an immigration deal, but I'm going to be tough on immigration so that way I can make a deal and show everyone how tough I am. Well, he was tough on immigration. They called him the deporter-in-chief because before Trump, he deported more people than anybody. And he was a Democrat who was supposedly in favor of immigration.
Right.
And then ultimately, he couldn't get any immigration passed either. And now we have an opportunity to do it. I'll tell you what my opinion is for people listening out there. If it happens, great. But if it doesn't happen, everyone out there right now who needs immigration help has to take advantage of the system that's in existence today. So if there's an opportunity for you to get a green card to make yourself legal, don't wait. Well, it'll be easier for me if Joe Biden passes the laws. Go take advantage of it now, because who knows what it'll be.
Do you think there'll be ongoing conversations on, maybe things that were left undone? I mean, it's there's enough conversation that we need more action, but things that were maybe undone during Obama's time that maybe now Joe's going to take onto himself. And it's like, okay, we need to make these actionable things that have been conversations for almost a decade now.
Well, he has changed a lot of Donald Trump's policies, not all of them. We have some charts we can look at right here. For example, on legal immigration, he has 3 new policies that he put into effect. There's still one Trump policy that is negative that is in effect. On humanitarian immigration policy, 3 new Biden policies, 6 policies by Trump that are anti-immigration that are still in place. On work visas, he has made no new policies on work visas. There are 10 restrictive policies by Donald Trump still in effect. on red tape. We know the red tape. Anybody going through the immigration process knows the red tape. Every immigration lawyer knows the red tape. Things are taking forever. 4 policies by Donald Trump that he could easily change to make red tape, to make the immigration process faster. He hasn't done it yet. Now, he has rescinded the Muslim ban. He has rescinded the African ban. The health insurance requirement, because Donald Trump put into place you have to have health insurance to get a green card, that's been blocked by the court. If you are pregnant, you aren't allowed in America. That is still, pregnant woman ban. I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. A lot happening, a lot not happening. Public charge provisions, that was a big deal. Alejandra Juarez, we featured her on our show. She is returning. It's in the news now. We interviewed her on Bradshaw Live. She is returning to the United States after her deportation.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, after 3 years of being separated from her family, Alejandra Juarez, she's coming home. She is the wife of a United States Marine veteran whose traumatic deportation seen at Orlando International Airport in 2018 made worldwide headlines. So on Monday, the United States Department of Homeland Security granted her a temporary reprieve known as humanitarian parole. And she's been living in the Yucatán Peninsula, but she's now back home with her family in Central Florida. So that's a nice story.
Nice.
It's a very nice story. On Sunday, she even posted on Facebook, "Thank you, Lord, for letting me wake up this Mother's Day in my home with my family. This was a miracle." Wow. If you are struggling with something that you know only a miracle can help, I'm here to tell you that someone is waiting to hear from you. And she was reunited with her husband and daughters, Pamela, who also appeared on our show as well. So we have these feel-good stories. And yes, there is positive change because, people are living in less fear in the United States with immigration.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say things are the same. They are certainly better. We're very happy for her. Nobody's saying that she shouldn't have been here. But what about the rest of us? What about the 10 million other people who have hardships, who are struggling?
Even Alejandra's case, in case for any new viewers, this has been ongoing for some time too. So again, going back to the way things are processing at this current time, it's like, we're so happy to hear about this breakthrough for Alejandra, but how about a ton of others, right? Like, let it be as overwhelming as it is to say hello to the squad to share more of these stories. I know right now it might seem a little slow, but I got a little hope. I have a little hope for what's to come in immigration. These are shifts.
Yeah, so you are more optimistic, the two of you.
I'm looking forward to this story not being such a big story. I'm looking forward to this being the norm, where families are being put back together and like people are coming back from being deported. The fact that this is just one story out of, like you said, the however many tons of other stories like this, it's really sad. So I'm looking forward. I'm going to be optimistic and look forward to more stories like this happening and it being the norm and not some breaking news.
And again, I'm really happy for her. It's not like I'm not happy. When I heard the news, I was really happy. Jill actually sent me an email because I was on vacation. I was not even reading newspapers. I was on hiatus, really. Yeah. So I didn't even know what was going on. She sent me an email and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for her. That made me feel good. Except when I thought about it more and I was happy for her, then I think about the other people. I'm like, what about everybody else? All right, let's talk coronavirus, guys. Hopefully we'll have some good news for everybody else as we go along here. Now, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, there's now over 159 novel coronavirus cases worldwide. 3.3 million people have died. The United States finally has turned the corner on the pandemic. Experts say Dr. Jonathan Reiner, professor of medicine and surgery at the George Washington University, told CNN on Sunday, this summer is going to seem much more normal. I noticed even in New York City, a lot more people walking around on the streets, outside. There's still a lot of people wearing masks, and you have every right to wear a mask. And if you feel more comfortable wearing a mask on the streets, for sure. But if you're not coming into contact with people, especially if you've been vaccinated, you may be able to get away with not wearing a mask, And the more Americans who get vaccinated, the better and better it's going to be. They just allowed now Pfizer to vaccinate 12 to 15-year-olds. According to the Centers for Disease Control, Dr. Fauci, if you hear what he has to say, it's the younger generation, the young kids, the teenagers that are most likely to transmit this. So as more children and more adults get vaccinated, we're going to have a lower and lower rate. I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where COVID disappears, but I think it's going to be like a manageable thing, like getting the flu every year. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So wait, the people who got vaccinated, is this supposed to be a yearly thing, like the flu shot?
We don't know yet. They have not come out and said anything. I don't know if it's going to be a yearly shot, if it's going to be like a booster, like you have to get like a tetanus booster every 10 years. Right. I would assume you're going to need to get a booster at some point in time, but they have not come out and said yet when. Now there is some vaccine hesitancy.
Yeah, that vaccine is...
Yo, I know you got vaccinated and you were hesitant.
Yes, but let me tell you, it was tough. It was tough on your boy.
It was. Why?
I did not do well at all. Like,
you didn't feel well after?
My symptoms were really, really bad.
Really?
But my dad and my uncle didn't have any symptoms. So I guess it's just, it depends on who you are. I didn't think I would because I had COVID last year, but my symptoms from the Moderna was tough on your boy.
Now, I will say this, and before I get to Vanessa, what doctors have told me is if you get bad reaction to it, that means it's a good thing for you, because that means your body is making even more and more antibodies, so you become even more resistant than if you didn't get a reaction. At least that's what doctors had said.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Right. And Vanessa, what's your thoughts on getting vaccinated?
So I have yet to get vaccinated, but my family has started getting vaccinated, and there are a lot of people here in Florida getting vaccinated. Just about, almost everyone that I'm speaking to, it's almost like a vote sticker. People should just start wearing, I've been vaccinated. A lot of people around me are doing it. And I think I'm getting to a point where I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about it. And that's kind of the precaution that we've sort of...
Are you going to do it?
Yeah, my mom did it, so I'm going to do it.
All right. and did you not...
That's the main reason why I did it, because of my family. I have some family that stays with me, and then the only way I can see my parents, who I've not seen in almost 2 years, is because they got vaccinated. So I had to, do it as well. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing my parents. I have not seen them in about 9-10 months too. So
that's hard.
It's very hard. Yeah. I speak to them on the phone, but I haven't physically been near them.
The same.
Yeah. Vanessa, did you not get vaccinated because it was just too hard to make an appointment? Or was it just you were still really hesitant on it?
Yeah, if I could be really transparent, my boyfriend and I were kind of just looking at it like, you don't know when everyone gets those new iPhones and there's always that glitch. Not that we were looking out to see if anyone around us was going to glitch, but I think I just needed to see it become something more fluent in conversation and throughout the people around me before I'm like, okay, this is something I'm going to have to make an effort. Yeah, because down here, it's not too tough to get vaccinated. You can, one of my friends did it pretty easily recently. So it was just a matter of time.
Now, I believe we're coming up to close to half of the United States has either been vaccinated or at least has one shot. It's very close to that number. Now, there's still probably close to another 50% of people living in the United States either who have not gotten the first shot or have not done anything yet. Now, according to the Associated Press, of those people, 11% who remain unvaccinated say they're definitely going to get the shot. 34% said they're definitely not getting it. And the other half probably will get it. So we have about 34% of half of America who won't get it, which if you do the math is about 15 to 18%. So 1 out of 5 people definitely will never be doing the shot. But if we get close to 70, 80%, we can say goodbye to COVID. We have any tea? Oh, it's Jill. The butler quit. Thank you very much. We were supposed to have a butler, but the butler turned into Jill. They have reshaped philanthropy, public health. By the way, Bill Gates was the founder of Microsoft. Everybody who works on Word and Excel, spreadsheets is all Bill Gates. They were married for 27 years. They have 3 children aged 18 to 25. They've apparently been getting divorced for the last 2 years. They have an endowment of over $50 billion for their charity. They're still going to be working on it. Now, over the past year, the couple has been especially visible, regularly commenting on the worldwide fight against COVID. Even though they've been getting divorced for the last 2 years, nobody knew this. The Gates has said in a statement, after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we made the decision to end our marriage. He is worth, are you ready for this?
How much?
124 billion.
It's wild.
Not million, billion.
Wow.
$1 billion.
That's wild.
That's a lot of immigration consultations.
Can you guys think of, first of all, that's
Yeah.
a lot of immigration.
That's a lot of immigration
Can you-
consultations for me to do to get there.
Their lawyers now?
What?
Brad,
What?
what about the work for their lawyers right now? Like,
Oh,
who's getting what? Where
Their divorce lawyers are making some change. Their divorce. Can you imagine you're like, I'm Bill Gates' divorce lawyer?
You said what?
You think he's arguing over the legal bill? You know, everyone gets a legal bill from their lawyer, including my clients. I get it. Nobody wants to overpay. You know, they all call, what the heck is this?
I'm
What
sure
the heck
he
is
does.
this? What the heck is this? Bill Gates, he ain't fighting over his legal fee, Bill.
I heard, I don't know if this is true. This is what I read somewhere, that she's not going to get anything out of a settlement. I think he just gave her maybe $50 billion worth of bonds or something like that.
I don't know. You know, there was something in the newspaper that on the day that the divorce was announced publicly, that Bill Gates transferred $1.8 billion into her bank account, which is like nothing to him.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's like nothing.
Yeah.
That's
out of the
less.
124 that he has?
I'm going to tell you something. They've been married 27 years. They have 3 children. She has to be getting a minimum of at least a third of his assets, if not more.
Oof.
I'm sure she's getting $30-40 billion. You know, Bezos' wife got $43 billion in the divorce.
I recalled it right back to that breakup too.
Yeah, now, I don't know. Bezos was richer than Gates. Bezos' wife was with him when he had nothing. So that would entitle her to more than Bill Gates was already a billionaire when he married this woman, although apparently there's no prenuptial agreement, which makes no sense to me. But still, she was with him for 27 years. She wasn't there taking care of his children. She wasn't there in all of, you know, his meetings and his, you know, dinners and everything. Maybe he would not be as wealthy as he is. Who knows? Behind every successful man, there's a woman there. I'm telling you. And by the way,
I agree.
behind
Boss
every
lady.
successful woman, there's a man there for her as well. Remember that.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
true.
Remember that. If you go see any successful
It's a
woman,
partnership.
it is a partnership. If you see any
Yes.
successful woman, there's always a man there. I mean, even look at Kamala Harris. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
look,
that's a good one.
That's a good one, right? Look
Okay.
at Stedman and Oprah,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. I could
Absolutely.
probably think of a few more. I'm just going off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, it's true.
So it goes both ways. You know,
sure.
to be successful, you need that partner
Yes.
to reach your potential, which is why in divorces, you know, the partner who was not the moneyed partner is always coming and saying, well, if it wasn't for me, I don't know if this person would have so much.
Yeah.
So my guess
No,
is
I
that
mean-
she's got to be getting at least a third, but it hasn't been
She
announced.
has to,
If not
right?
more.
Reason why I deserve at least a third.
You deserve a third too? What do you want to
No,
deserve?
I'm saying that his wife is
Oh, of
saying,
course.
like,
Oh.
reason why she deserves the third.
I thought you were going home to your boyfriend saying, this is what I deserve. All right. What else is happening with them? By the way, you know what's very interesting about the Gateses?
What?
Probably don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. They own more farmlands in the United States than anybody else.
Farm?
Farm. You know, you think of Bill Gates as Microsoft, but he is the largest owner of farmland in America.
Really?
Yes. And the reason is just diversifying his income so he doesn't have all his income in Microsoft. So one of his financial advisors says, hey, buy farms, and he's got billions of dollars. He's the largest farm owner in the United States. Who would have ever thought
Hilarious.
that? Did you see Ben Affleck got unmatched on a dating app? Did you hear about that?
No.
So there's this celebrity dating app called Raya or Raya. You have to be a celebrity or like a beautiful person or a person who knows somebody who's beautiful or a celebrity. I'm not on it. I'm not celebrity or beautiful. Apparently celebrities and beautiful people are on it. And
everybody share right now. Share the show right now so we can get Brad on the
I'm
app.
not on it. It's okay. So, in any event, he's on this app, and I guess some woman by the name of Naveen J, they matched. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Ben Affleck. How are you?" And she's like, "Yeah, right." And he's like, "No, I'm really Ben Affleck. How are you? I'm looking for a date." No. She thought she was getting catfished, so she unmatched him. It didn't obviously sit very well with Ben Affleck. He's like, "Man, I'm Ben Affleck. How do you unmatch me?" It's like, hey, I'm Tom Cruise. I'm, I don't know, Denzel Washington. How do you unmatch these people, So he was like, what the heck? He wanted to prove he wasn't a catfish. Naveen said Ben proceeded to slide into her Instagram DMs with a video of proof saying, "Hey, Naveen, why did you unmatch me?" And we have and he even sent a TikTok video. Or she sent the video and she put it on TikTok. Let's watch.
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. I just wish things would get better. I'm trying to get rid of them, but nothing seems to
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
Can we play that one more time?
He is trying to get swiped right.
Can we play that one more time? Because if he's not Ben Affleck.
This stuff went viral.
Naveen, why did you unmatch me? It's me.
All right, I'm going to tell you something right now. If he's not Ben Affleck and I was a woman getting that, I'd be calling the cops. That looks really creepy to me. What about you? I mean, would you? I mean, if you all right, it's Ben Affleck, so I'm like, all right, cool. But if he was just like Ben Jones, you'd be like, this guy's like, what's creepy looking guy, right?
Yeah.
No, the funny thing to me is the fact that like Ben Affleck just felt so like he like the fact that he got unmatched. He was just so offended. That just shows how much he gets, how much play he gets. Right. That means he's just used to girls just throwing it at him. He's like, what?
Yeah, because
you're gonna unmatch me?
Yeah, finally a girl played hard to get, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go after her. Makes her more attractive to me.
Right.
Star girl Mika, yes, but she was wise and could have been a scammer.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, what you do with these apps is you say, okay, let's FaceTime.
Exactly.
And then I'm sure,
you know, Dr. Love.
Now, I will say this about
from Dr. Love. If you are on a dating app and you feel like this might be a catfish, do not do anything until you at least FaceTime with them. And a lot of these apps have a FaceTime and video record feature where you guys can prove to each other that you're the right person, the real person. I think she's just a little ditzy, so she probably just went like...
Now I will say this. It's not in my notes, so I'm going a little off topic here. But Chandler from Friends, what's his name?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? Chandler from Friends.
Yeah,
Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry.
Yeah. Okay. Matthew Perry. That's Perry.
Okay. It came out on the same week that this Ben Affleck story came out. It came out that he was also on this app, Raya. Now, he is approximately my age, in his early 50s. And he was texting with somebody who was 19 years old. And he said, hey, let's, FaceTime and everything. And this girl...
19?
Yeah, or this woman, she's a 19-year-old woman, says, you know what, that's a little creepy. You're 52, I'm 19, what's going on here? Why are you trying to pick me up? And she made that also on TikTok, and that went viral as too.
Yikes.
And he got called out for like 52-year-old man going after a 19-year-old woman.
Oh.
But my thing is, I don't understand why these girls are putting this on the internet though, because it's kind of blocking your play for other celebrities to come at you. Because it's like, if I'm a celebrity and I'm going to DM you, I'm not going to DM you because I'm afraid that you're going to throw it on the internet, Well,
yeah, well, first of all, if you're a celebrity, you got to be very careful. And if you're a celebrity, why are you on a dating app to begin with? And number three, if you're a 19-year-old who's matching with a 52-year-old, you can't turn around after and say, oh, that's creepy. Don't match with a 52-year-old. It's like a setup almost.
Exactly.
That's my opinion. What I'm saying. I felt Matthew Perry got set up.
Yeah, of course, they do it for clout. That's what I'm saying. Why would you do that? Because you're ruining the chance to get with somebody else, because you're doing that for clout, obviously. I don't like that type of stuff.
I liked that comment. We just had a comment up by William William, and I guess it was on the Ben Affleck clip. He should have said, "I'm Batman."
Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.